Hi, this is Dr. Audrey Ray. Today is day 8 of my 2-week challenge. And today I'd like to talk to you about a meme I keep seeing on social media, and it says, don't argue with idiots. I don't like it. I'm going to tell you why. I don't like labeling people and calling people idiots and implying that you can argue with non-idiots and don't argue with idiots. It just doesn't do it for me. I just don't get the wisdom in that. So I asked myself what would be a more Audrey-friendly type of words, terminology to get the essence of the lesson in it. And to me, it's not arguing with idiots, is pay attention to whether people can hear you or not. When people are too upset, or when they are very stubborn, when they are narrow-minded, when they are ready to start an argument, when they tend to engage in conflict a lot, there are times where it really doesn't serve you to try to change someone's mind because it's just not going to happen. So you're going to make your best effort, they're going to get upset, you're going to get upset, and it's going to be a waste of minutes or hours of your life. So in those circumstances, definitely don't argue with people who can't hear you. This may sound weird because usually I talk about influence and I talk about how to get through to people, how to get people to change their minds, how to get people to expand their perspective. Today is different. So again, I'm not talking about being able to communicate to your boss or to your staff or to your spouse or people that really matter in your life. I'm just talking about people in general, where there isn't nothing really at stake. And when there is a desire to argue with someone, when that's coming from a need to correct, and that is actually not the issue that the other person is an idiot, it's the issue that you are being controlled by that compulsion to correct people. And if this is you, if you tend to do that, or even if it's just once a year on a holiday, it's Thanksgiving, you have people around the table that you don't like and you feel the need to correct them, they trigger you. No matter the frequency of it, there's still value in that idea, that concept. So not arguing with people who can't hear you, not trying to control, not trying to correct. It is so freeing because look, if you look at life and you look at people with judgment and criticism and you see what they're doing wrong and you're full of opinions and you want to, supposedly help them, but in helping them, what you really want to do is make them more like you, make them think the way you do, make them agree with you, and it's actually very self-serving. It looks like it's a selfless act of service, but it's really about control and it's about you having that need to correct them. Consider that. What if what you believe to be right or what you believe to be better is actually appropriate for you but not for them? Or what if your lesson is perfectly valid but it's just not the right time? Not everybody can learn and grow at the pace you think is right. They need to set their own pace. They need to have their own evolution, especially if you want them to change beliefs, expand their perspective, be more loving, open their heart, or just stop saying idiotic kind of stuff. I don't know, whatever that is, but who are we to decide who needs to change when and how? We just can't. So it's something to keep in mind. When we feel triggered to correct someone, maybe it's time to do a little ego check and say, well, who am I to decide this person has to grow today? Who am I to decide that what this person believes is wrong for them? And that kind of humility is not only going to make you a better person, but it's going to make you a much, much happier person. I know that for me, what makes me laugh all the time is just watching how much personally I have changed over the years. I feel like every decade I'm a completely different person because I'm so involved in personal and professional development and even spiritual development. So I see a lot of patterns that I look at and I feel like, oh, they haven't evolved yet, but that's because they remind me of me 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So I'm not going to step in and say, I used to be just like you. And let me tell you what the future is in store for you. No, I just let them have their experience because first of all, what I think is going to be their path, maybe it's not. And even if it is, such as a path of being less critical and opening their heart and being more connected and having more joy in their life, what if it's just not time? Maybe there's more lessons, maybe there's more experiences. So bottom line, when people do and say stuff I don't agree with, I stay quiet. In fact, you'd be surprised how often I stay quiet because I have a lot of opinions, but at the same time, I don't have the certainty that people need to hear what may be going through my mind. So when I have a thought that feels like judgment, I release it as fast as possible. So it may pop in my head and it may be released in a fraction of a second. And then all you see on my face is a smile because I'm really in that place of acceptance, because it's just not my business. It's just not my place to be. So anyway, I'm probably talking longer than I need to again on this video, but my point is, when you see that meme or when you think about it, don't argue with idiots. It's not about labels. It's not about who's worth your time, who's not worth your time. It's really about inquiring within, asking yourself, do I have a need to control? Why am I being judgmental? And when can I actually improve my own life simply by being less critical and letting people have their experience? Let them have their opinions. Let them be who they are. Let them do what they do. And just focus on yourself. Just focus on being the best person you can be. And your life is going to transform. And you're not going to feel the responsibility to change them, but you are going to improve your relationship, because when we drop judgment, we can finally have the right kind of relationships based on trust and acceptance. So I hope you found that helpful. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.